Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to our first ever Bible study called the Who You Say I Am devotional series Bible study. It is a 6-week course designed to help you get closer to what God says about you and hopefully reframe some characteristics and some things in your head that will help you learn your purpose better, learn who you are in the Lord better. So you should have gotten a download, a printable devotional. This thing is like 67 pages. You can do grayscale if you want. It's super pretty if you use the color in there. But the grayscale works just as fine. And if all you have the capacity for is to listen to the videos and just soak up what you can because that's the season you're in, then that's the season you're in and you need to just own it and do your thing. So, in case you are in the place where you love the workbook and you want the workbook and you have the time, so let's say we printed this thing off and we have the full 6-week capacity in our hands. So this is the first page, this is the cover. So that's what it's going to look like. Second page here literally has the place for your name and the date starting the course. So you're going to want to fill that out and own it. Put your name and the date. You're going to want to go back later and look at it, I promise. And you might want to go through this again and again and again. This is yours to keep, and so are the videos. So the welcome page right here, I'm going to read it to you myself so you can hear it in my voice because this is how I wrote it and this is what I mean. My sweet friend, I am so grateful you are here with me on this journey. For years, I have wrestled with the question of who God is in my life and what he thinks of me as his child. I was raised to work hard, be respectful, and do all the things. And I am so grateful for what my parents taught me and for all they have poured into me. It has blessed my life more than I ever could have imagined. When I got sick and for months I was physically unable to do all the things I had always done, I started to wonder what value I had on this earth if I could not do what I used to do. It was a very dark, lonely, and hopeless time for me. I decided to study out his word for answers and finally learn what he says about me. I wanted to take my new knowledge and apply it practically to my everyday life, and I want to take you with me. Thank you so much for coming along. I cannot wait to see what he does. So much love to you, Tara. So if you look in the contents here, I just flipped the page and there's 6 weeks listed out there for you. It's designed to do in a 6-week time frame. So if you're going to dive right into week 1, you're going to head into the loaves and fishes, and there's going to be little things for you to do every day, as much or as little as you want. We're going to go over that. So week 1 is loaves and fishes. Week 2, the Tower of Babel. This is an old copy I'm reading off of. Week 3 is Elijah's intimidation. Week 4 is Colossians and versus carnality. Week 5 is Colossians versus spirituality. It's like a 2-part. And week 6 is Mary and Martha. So you can follow your contents in here wherever you need to get anything, wherever you need to find it. You could even 3-ring, like hole punch this and put it in a 3-ring binder if you want. But just for the sake of learning together, we're just going to go over loaves and fishes and what that looks like. So every week has its own chapter content. So you can tell right here what to read. It'll tell you at the top to read Matthew 14, 13 through 21. So that would be the section that you would read on. And then we literally break it down verse by verse. Some are 2 pages, some are 3. It just depends on how much content is in each one of them. So you'll see where the verse is and then the explanation behind it. And usually the photos have something to do with what we're learning here, right? So there's our loaves. Not too many fishes because there's not really pretty pictures of fishes. So anyways, there's quotes throughout, and then we've broken down all of those to give you the chapter. We've even looked up I say we, but it was mostly just me. I have an awesome village though that's super supportive. So when I say we, I mean like they're cheering me on through this, right? So I wrote it's all broken down in here verse by verse, and there are places I have looked up the Greek and the Hebrew all through the concordance to try to give us a better understanding of what the whole point is, the deep dive in that. So I do read out of the King James, mostly because it was sitting here and it's the fastest and easiest way to get back to the Greek and the Hebrew. And I do explain that in the videos too, but you can use whatever version you want whenever you want it. The whole point is to understand the context of God's word. So it is broken down for you in those pages. So every week you'll also have a total of 5, we call them talking points. Okay. So you get to decide how much or how little you're going to go over with those. My hope for you is if you're a learning person and you want to dig deep and do all the time and you have the time to study and you really want to make it a priority, my hope is you'll take one talking point every day, and each talking point has a verse. I want you to read that verse. I want you to read before it. I want you to read after it. I want you to read the whole chapter within it and see what God speaks to you. And even created you a calendar. It's a few pages back, has this calendar. So whatever day of the week you're doing your talking points, again, there's 5 of those, but there's 7 days of the week. So in between your talking points, if you're not feeling like it, or if you're a journal person, we also have journal prompts. There's extra pages for notes here. Where's your journal prompt? There it is. So for the 2 days that you don't have a talking point, I'm encouraging you to journal. Maybe you have a little more time that week, and you can dig in, or a little more time that day, and you can dig in because you can read that whole paragraph and how it applies to that week situation. And you're just going to reflect. You're just going to think about it. You're just going to see what God speaks to you, and that's what you're going to journal. So every week has each one of those. So you're going to use your talking points. You're going to use your journal time, and you're going to put them all on your calendar if that helps you remember which ones you did on what days, which ones you did on what days. And then that can help you stay organized. And you're going to see notes here. I've got an extra page for notes in case you don't have a journal or if that's enough for you. And as you're listening, there's a page that literally has more questions. It's like a blank page for you to be able to use to get through your study. There's a final thoughts page too. So that will get you through. There's a little extra reading there, and we go through that in the study every week. We read it out loud. The last page in every week is this one with your declaration, and it's called I am. So there is no right or wrong answer to fill this out. You are declaring for the week what God is speaking to you about that particular lesson. So best case scenario would be if you fill that out even while you're listening to the video for the study for the week, because then you can reflect on it and work on it and start replacing that thought and let that be your declaration for the week as you grow and change through all that. So also you can fill it out the last day. I don't even use it how you want it. The point is to have the tools there to help you go as deep as you can, as much as you can, whatever God is speaking to you. He will meet you in the mess. He will meet you in the middle. He will meet you on the top of the mountain, and he will meet you in the valley. So my hope and prayer for you is you use that guide to get you through each day, each week. And as much as you can dive in, it's there for you. And if all you can do is listen to those videos and get through it and get yourself a shot in the arm, then you know what? Do it to the glory of God. That's what it's there for. So I hope that was helpful enough to get you through. I do explain a little bit more as we go through the study. So the best thing you can do is just dive in and get to it and believe God to meet you there. And that is exactly what I'm believing for you too.